Software development just got a major update, and it's one of those shifts that sounds subtle until you think through what it does to the whole industry. Because the story used to be that software was limited by how fast humans could write code. That limitation shaped everything: how teams worked, how releases were planned, how QA was structured, and even how customers got used to receiving new features. Now we're in a different era. AI can write code at a speed that basically breaks the old rules. Features that used to take days can appear in hours. Refactors that used to feel risky now feel almost casual. The cost of experimentation keeps dropping. Release cadence increases naturally because there's no longer a strong reason to wait. And that changes the entire bottleneck. When software becomes easy to produce, it stops being the hard part. The hard part becomes trusting what you ship. That trust layer is QA. And that is where the industry has a serious problem right now. Development speed has exploded, yet most teams are still validating changes with processes that were designed for a world where you ship slowly. So companies adopt AI coding tools, velocity starts jumping in crazy multiples, and suddenly it feels like development is moving 10 times faster. Some teams talk about it like 20 times. Some even describe the extreme version where it feels closer to 50 times. Whatever number you believe, the direction is obvious. The volume of change is accelerating way faster than the ability to verify it. That's why the most important update in modern software isn't AI that writes code, it's AI that makes QA scale. And that brings us to one of the most interesting launches right now. Abacus AI just announced DeepAgent, and the headline update here is not only that it can build apps. The major new capability is that DeepAgent now automates QA as a complete workflow. Not automated testing as in run a suite. Automated QA as in think like QA, pressure test the product, hunt breakpoints, and keep going until there's real confidence. That's the difference. DeepAgent is being framed as the type of AI agent that doesn't just replace one engineer. It replaces the functional output of an entire software team workflow. The pitch is that the best AI agents will not be limited to writing code. They will combine building with testing, debugging, monitoring, and production scaling in one system so you can ship faster without turning every release into a gamble. And there are two very concrete production features included in that DeepAgent announcement that make this feel like something meant for real deployment, not just demos. First, DeepAgent can be set up to run weekly testing on your apps, including the new wave of vibe-coded apps. That detail matters because it's aimed directly at how software is being created right now. A lot more people are shipping real products with AI-assisted coding, and those products don't always come with disciplined QA behind them. Weekly automated QA becomes a safety net that prevents quality from degrading as the app evolves. Second, DeepAgent claims it can automatically scale your app based on traffic. That pushes the concept beyond AI coding tool. It starts acting like an always-on operational teammate that reacts to production reality. That is usually something that teams build into infrastructure over time, and it's being packaged here into the agent itself. Now, the heart of the DeepAgent update is the QA behavior. It's described less like a feature and more like a mindset. Most tools test software in a way that's basically polite. They confirm that the expected flow works. That's useful, but that's not what protects you from real damage. Real QA comes from the mindset of a tester who does not trust the happy path. A serious QA engineer doesn't ask, does this work when everything goes right? They ask the scary question, what's the fastest way this breaks in production? That question is basically what separates high-quality engineering teams from teams that ship fast and hope for the best. The entire DeepAgent QA upgrade is positioned around that style of thinking. It's not satisfied with a simple pass. It probes assumptions. It pressures edge cases. It keeps digging until confidence is earned, not assumed. And this is important in 2026 software culture because speed changes the psychology of shipping. When teams move fast, shortcuts start showing up naturally. Verification starts getting replaced by intuition. Releases start getting pushed because it'll probably be fine. That's where companies get hurt. And this is why automated QA isn't just a convenience tool anymore. It's becoming a strategic advantage. The problem isn't bugs. Bugs have always existed. The problem is that when change happens this fast, bugs don't slip in occasionally anymore. They slip in continuously, and every single one becomes more expensive than it used to be. More users are relying on software in real time. More workflows depend on it. A pricing flow that breaks doesn't create a minor issue. It can hit revenue instantly. An onboarding glitch isn't just a small UX annoyance. It can kill activation. A regional UI issue might look totally fine to the team building it, while quietly annoying real customers in another country every single day. At scale, reliability stops being polish. reliability becomes the engine of growth. This is why the DeepAgent QA update is framed as automating QA outcomes, not helping with QA tasks. DeepAgent is meant to take real product inputs, including messy requirements, feature goals, release candidates, and rough notes, and turn that into pressure testing. It runs structured checks, then moves into exploratory probing, because the weird failures are usually the ones that do the most damage. Because if AI writes more code than ever, then the only way to keep quality stable is to automate the thinking layer of validation. Not only automate the mechanical layer of running tests, this is also where DeepAgent tries to outperform the classic testing tool category. A testing tool is narrow. It does what you tell it. It validates what you anticipated. QA is broader. It challenges what you didn't anticipate. And DeepAgent is trying to behave like the second category. Now, another big part of this update is that it doesn't treat QA as one single perspective. Good QA means testing like your users, not like your dev team. Because what looks stable in-house can fall apart the moment real people rush, misunderstand, or hit admin edge cases. DeepAgent is positioned as being able to shift into these perspectives on demand, which connects to one of the best definitions of QA. It's empathy plus paranoia. Empathy, because you need to understand real user behavior. Paranoia, because you need to assume the product will be pushed into edge cases and weird conditions. And that is where AI actually becomes useful, because those perspective shifts are mentally expensive for humans to do endlessly at high intensity. An AI agent can do that kind of role switching continuously without fatigue, and it can do it at scale. DeepAgent also expands QA beyond what most teams normally treat as QA. This is a huge point, because it's where real money is lost. A lot of teams do a decent job testing the real product, meaning the core features that engineers spend most of their time on. Yet the problem is, the stuff that actually decides growth usually sits outside of that core. The landing page is what creates the first impression. Onboarding is what determines whether a new user becomes a real user. Pricing is where trust turns into money. Lead forms are where demand turns into revenue. And because those surfaces look simple, teams treat them like they don't need serious QA. That's where growth gets sabotaged. The product can be solid, yet a broken link or messy onboarding can quietly bleed conversions all week. Then there's the global reality. The modern product environment is international by default. The phrase "it works for me" becomes dangerous the moment you ship across locales, formats, browser differences, region expectations, and language variations. Subtle UI problems can show up in one region while being invisible in another. DeepAgent positions itself as catching those high-impact issues early, before customers become the detection system. Now let's talk about the bigger implication, because this is what turns DeepAgent from a product update into a trend signal. The future isn't just AI replacing humans. The future is hybrid teams. Humans working alongside AI agents as the standard operating model. The prediction being pushed here is that by the end of 2025, every serious software company will have hybrid workflows where AI agents handle large parts of execution while humans handle oversight, strategy, and judgment. And there's one brutal point attached to that prediction: there's no moat. Once a capability becomes obvious, everyone builds it. Just like AI coding tools became mainstream quickly, automated QA agents will become mainstream too. The companies that win won't be the ones with the most code output. Output becomes cheap. What matters is trust. The winners will be the companies that solve the trust problem at scale. That is the story DeepAgent is trying to represent. AI builds software instantly. DeepAgent tries to make QA instant too. And if this works as advertised, it changes how teams ship, because it means you don't have to choose between speed and safety anymore. So yeah, this isn't just a product update. It's a sign of where the software stack is going. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment with your take on whether QA is about to become the biggest advantage in modern software, and I'll catch you in the next one.